Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going deep on a career path. I bet a lot of you have thought about at some point,
Oh,
being
yeah.
a bank teller. We've got some awesome material from Job Test Prep to help us break it all down.
Sounds good.
And I think you'll be surprised by how much more there is to it than meets the eye.
Yeah, it's definitely not just about counting cash.
Right. So let's jump right into it. Job Test Prep actually gives us a ton of example interview questions.
Okay.
And some of them are
Tough ones.
seriously tough. Now, like, how would you sell a new product to a customer just making a routine deposit?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Well, that's exactly why employers ask it. They want to see if you can think on your feet, spot an opportunity, and connect with the customer's needs.
Even for like a simple transaction.
Even then, it's a chance to show off your sales skills too, which are valuable in any financial institution.
Makes sense. There's another one about a time your ethics were challenged. Seems a little intense for a bank teller interview, don't you think?
It might seem that way, but you got to remember, bank tellers handle sensitive information and people's money every single day.
Sure.
Employers need to know you can handle those responsibilities with integrity, especially when things get tough.
So it's all about gauging your judgment and commitment to ethical practices.
Exactly. Which are absolutely crucial in banking.
Okay, so interview prep is clearly key.
For sure.
But what about the actual skills and qualities you need on the job? Attention to detail seems like a big one, but why is it so crucial in this role?
Oh, it's absolutely essential. Think about it. You're handling financial transactions,
Right.
and even a small error can have major consequences.
Like what?
Well, imagine accidentally transposing digits in a customer's account number
Oh, no.
or miscalculating a cash deposit.
Yikes.
It could lead to huge financial discrepancies,
Yeah.
compliance issues for the bank, and even legal ramifications.
Wow. Okay. So being meticulous and organized is a must.
Absolutely. And it's not just about avoiding mistakes either. Attention to detail also applies to observing customer behavior, spotting potential security risks,
Okay.
and noticing any discrepancies in documentation. It's about being vigilant and proactive.
To protect both the bank and the customer.
Right.
So beyond attention to detail, what about customer service? How does that go beyond just being friendly?
Well, you're the first point of contact for most customers, right? You're representing the bank, answering questions, and helping people navigate their financial transactions.
Yeah.
It's all about creating a positive and welcoming environment, even if you're dealing with a stressed out customer or a complex issue.
So being approachable and helpful, but also being able to handle those tricky situations gracefully
Exactly. It's about active listening, understanding the customer's needs.
and finding solutions that work for everyone.
Right. Sometimes it even requires de-escalating a tense situation,
Oh, wow.
which can be challenging but incredibly important.
I can see how that ties back to those tough interview questions about handling those situations.
Yeah.
It sounds like those scenarios are way more common than we might think.
They definitely are. And that's why employers really want to see those skills.
Okay, on to another crucial skill, cash handling expertise.
Okay.
So, honestly, what comes to mind when you think about that beyond just counting money?
Good question.
Because I'd probably just say like,
Being able to count bills and make change quickly.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it sounds like there's more to it.
There's definitely more to it. It's about understanding the procedures that are in place to minimize risk
I'm not,
and ensure accurate transactions. Think about detecting counterfeit currency, maintaining a balanced cash drawer,
oh, right.
and following strict security protocols,
To protect against things like,
theft or fraud.
got it. So it's a combo of technical skills, attention to detail, and security.
Precisely. Bank tellers are entrusted with a lot of responsibility,
For sure.
and cash handling is at the core of that.
Mm.
Now, let's talk about knowledge of banking procedures.
Okay.
Why is that so important, even if you're starting out with more routine tasks?
I guess I've always thought of those procedures as kind of boring and bureaucratic.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to see how it's all connected.
It definitely is. Understanding the why behind those procedures is really key to being a successful bank teller. You're dealing with different account types,
Mm-hmm.
various financial instruments, and a whole bunch of regulations,
Let's make sure everything runs smoothly.
and legally.
So it's about understanding the whole financial system.
Exactly. And that knowledge helps you provide better customer service, answer questions accurately, and even spot potential issues before they become real problems.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, speaking of handling a lot of different things, time management and multitasking seem crucial, especially in a bank.
Oh, absolutely.
Why are those so important for a bank teller?
Well, imagine a typical day. You're processing transactions, answering phones, assisting customers with all sorts of requests.
All at the same time.
Pretty much. all while maintaining accuracy and composure. It's a constant juggling act. And being able to prioritize tasks, manage your time, and stay calm under pressure is essential.
Sounds like you need to be able to switch gears quickly and seamlessly.
Exactly. And that's why time management and multitasking are so important for bank tellers.
Okay, so we've covered a lot here.
We have.
It's clear that being a bank teller requires a pretty diverse set of skills.
Yeah, for sure.
But what about those less tangible qualities, like personality traits? Do those really matter?
They matter a lot. In fact, they're often just as important as the technical skills.
Really?
Think about professionalism, courtesy, helpfulness, and of course,
Accuracy.
accuracy. These qualities build trust with customers, enhance the bank's reputation.
And make a more positive environment for everyone.
Exactly.
So it's not just about what you know, but how you present yourself and interact with others.
Right. It's about being a positive representative of the bank, building rapport with customers.
And making them feel valued.
Exactly. Those seemingly soft skills can make a huge impact on customer loyalty and the overall success of the bank.
Okay, starting to see how it all fits together.
Yeah.
But before we get into interview prep and all those tough questions,
Right.
let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more insights from Job Test Prep.
Sounds good.
And we're back. Before the break, we are getting into the nitty-gritty of what makes a bank teller tick. All those skills and qualities.
Yeah.
Now let's get practical, especially for those of you prepping for interviews.
Okay.
Job Test Prep actually has a whole section on strengths and weaknesses. Why is that such a big deal, and how do we tackle those questions honestly without, totally tanking our chances?
Right. It's a classic question for a reason. Interviewers want to see if you're self-aware, if you understand your strengths, and also where you might have room to grow.
Okay, so how do we do that? Let's say, I don't know, my weakness is I'm not totally up to speed on all the banking procedures.
Right.
How do I spin that in a positive light?
So instead of saying, I don't know anything about X, you could say something like, I'm really eager to learn more about that area, and I'm a quick learner. You could even add, in my past jobs, I've always been the one to master new systems quickly.
So you're acknowledging the gap, but highlighting your willingness to learn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is a super valuable trait, especially in a fast-paced environment like banking.
That's a good tip. What about strengths? Any advice on making those stand out?
Definitely. Be specific and give examples. Don't just say you're a people person. Tell a story about a time you resolved a customer issue or went above and beyond for someone.
Okay.
Connect your strengths back to the qualities we've talked about today, like attention to detail or time management. Show them how those strengths will make you a great bank teller.
So it's all about showing, not just telling.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about something that can be kind of scary. Aptitude exams.
Ooh, yeah.
Job Test Prep mentions those a lot in their bank teller materials. Why are they so common, and what can we do to get ready for them?
Yeah, those exams can be nerve-wracking. I remember taking one for a retail job years ago, and I just felt like my brain was melting.
Totally get it. Aptitude tests in finance, they often focus on things like numerical reasoning, problem solving, and critical thinking under pressure.
So it's about how you handle the pressure.
Exactly. They're meant to see if you can handle the demands of the job, especially when it comes to numbers and quick decision making.
So it's not just about being good at math, it's how you apply it.
Right. Job Test Prep actually has some great practice guides that kind of simulate the types of questions you might see on the real test.
Oh, that's good to know.
Getting familiar with the format and practicing beforehand can make a huge difference in your confidence.
Okay, good to know. So we've got the skills, those tough interview questions, and even those dreaded exams.
Yeah, we've covered a lot.
But what about making a good first impression? I imagine professionalism is a big deal in the banking world.
Oh, absolutely. Professionalism goes way beyond just wearing a suit, although that is important.
Okay.
It's about showing respect, competence.
And that you're serious about the opportunity.
Exactly. Think about your posture, your communication style, even your online presence.
Ooh, good point.
Do your social media profiles reflect the image you want to project?
Right. It's all connected.
It is.
So let's say we ace the interview, we land the job.
Congrats.
What does a typical day actually look like for a bank teller? Is it really just counting cash all day?
Not at all. While cash handling is a big part of it, bank tellers wear a lot of different hats.
Okay.
They process deposits and withdrawals, handle loan payments, answer customer questions, and even promote the bank's products and services.
So it's a mix of routine tasks and more interactive stuff.
Exactly. One minute you might be helping someone open a new account. The next you could be explaining a savings plan or troubleshooting an issue with online banking.
So you need those people skills.
You need them. It's a dynamic role that requires accuracy, but also those strong interpersonal skills.
Speaking of those skills, let's go back to some of the key ones we've talked about today.
Okay.
But this time, let's put them in the context of a typical workday. For example, how does attention to detail actually show up in the life of a bank teller?
It's in every single aspect of the job. Think about verifying customer information, double-checking account numbers, transaction amounts, carefully counting cash.
To avoid discrepancies.
Exactly. It's about being meticulous and consistent to prevent errors that could have big consequences.
So it's a systematic approach to accuracy.
It is. And this all ties back to building trust with customers. When they see that you're handling their finances with care, it reassures them that their money is in good hands.
It makes them feel safe.
Right.
Okay, now what about customer service skills in action? We've talked about how important they are, but what does that look like in a typical day?
So picture this. A customer approaches you with a question or problem. It could be anything from needing help with a deposit slip to a concern about a fraudulent transaction.
Okay. And it's about more than just giving them the right answer, right?
Absolutely. It's about active listening, understanding their situation, and communicating clearly and patiently.
So they feel heard and understood.
Exactly, even if you can't solve their problem right away.
It's about that human connection.
It is. And those interactions, no matter how small they seem, they all add up to the overall customer experience and the bank's reputation.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, cash handling expertise. How does that play out in a real workday?
Okay, so you've got your stacks of bills, that satisfying thump sound when you count them out.
Love that sound.
Right. But it's way more than that. Think about receiving cash deposits, dispensing withdrawals, balancing your drawer at the end of the day.
Making sure everything adds up.
Right. It has to be efficient and accurate, but it also involves those security measures we talked about.
Like being able to spot a fake bill.
Exactly. Bank tellers are trained to identify counterfeit currency,
Wow.
and they follow really strict protocols to protect both the bank and the customer.
So a big responsibility.
It is. Now, what about knowledge of banking procedures? We talked about the why behind it, but how does it show up day to day?
Okay.
Think about those tasks that might seem routine, like processing a deposit or a withdrawal. Each transaction has specific procedures you have to follow
To make sure everything is done correctly.
to ensure accuracy, compliance, and security. It's all connected.
So it's not just about pushing buttons, it's understanding the whole process.
Right. And that knowledge helps you answer customer questions accurately and confidently.
To become a resource for them.
Exactly. Okay, last but not least, let's revisit time management and multitasking.
Crucial in a busy bank.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine handling a line of customers while answering phones, processing transactions, maybe even helping a colleague with a quick question.
All at the same time.
It's like a carefully choreographed dance.
Sounds intense.
It can be, but effective time management and multitasking let you handle all those demands without sacrificing accuracy or customer service.
So it's about staying organized and calm even when things get crazy.
Exactly. It's a skill that takes practice, but it's essential for success as a bank teller.
So we've seen how all these skills come together in this role. It's about way more than just handling money. It's about mastering a diverse skill set, building relationships.
And being a reliable representative of the bank.
Exactly. But I'm curious, how do all these qualities actually translate into building trust and enhancing the bank's reputation?
It all comes down to the customer experience. When someone walks into a bank and interacts with a teller who's knowledgeable, efficient, courteous, and detail-oriented, it creates a really positive impression.
Makes them feel good about doing business there.
Right. And those positive experiences build trust, not just in the teller, but in the bank as a whole.
So it's a ripple effect.
Exactly. Those individual interactions contribute to the bank's overall reputation and success. And that's why those soft skills and personality traits we talked about are so important.
They're not just an extra bonus, they're essential.
Exactly. They're key ingredients in building that trust and positive reputation.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, from the technical stuff to those all-important interpersonal qualities. Now let's dive into something that often comes up in bank teller interviews: strengths and weaknesses.
Okay.
It's a classic question, and it can be tough to handle.
It can be. But it's a great chance to show that you're self-aware and that your skills and experience are a good fit for the job.
So how do we handle those questions effectively? Let's start with weaknesses. I think a lot of people struggle with that one. Trying to be honest without being too negative.
Yeah, it's a balancing act. The key is to be genuine, but also frame your weaknesses in a way that shows you're willing to learn and grow.
Okay, so for example,
Let's say you're not super familiar with all the banking procedures yet. Acknowledge it, but emphasize that you're eager to learn and that you're a fast learner.
turn it into a positive.
Exactly. It shows that you're self-aware and proactive, which are valuable qualities in any job.
Now, what about strengths?
Hmm.
Any advice on how to make those really stand out?
Be specific and give examples. Don't just say, I'm a hard worker. Tell a story about a time when you went above and beyond to help a customer, or how your attention to detail prevented a mistake.
So bring those strengths to life.
Exactly. The interviewer wants to see how your strengths translate into real-world situations.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, let's move on to something that can be a little intimidating for aspiring bank tellers.
What's that?
Aptitude exams.
Oh, yeah.
Job Test Prep highlights those quite a bit in their materials. Why are they so common, and how can we prepare?
Aptitude tests are common in finance because they help assess your ability to handle numbers, solve problems quickly, and think critically under pressure.
So they're really testing your ability to think on your feet.
Exactly. They're designed to see if you're a good fit for roles that involve handling money and financial information.
So it's not just about being good at math. It's about how you apply those skills in a real-world setting.
Right. The tests often present scenarios that you might encounter as a bank teller, requiring you to analyze data, make quick decisions, and solve problems efficiently.
So how can we best prepare for those exams?
Practice. Job Test Prep has some excellent practice guides that can familiarize you with the format and types of questions you might see.
That's good to know.
The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll be, and the less anxiety you'll feel on test day.
Okay, that's reassuring. Now let's shift gears and talk about another important part of the interview. Asking insightful questions.
Ah, yes, good one.
Job Test Prep provides some great examples, but why is this such a crucial part of the process?
Remember, an interview is a two-way street. It's not just about them evaluating you. It's also your chance to see if the role and the bank are a good fit for you.
So asking questions shows that you're engaged and that you've done your homework.
Exactly. It demonstrates your interest in the opportunity and that you're taking it seriously. It also helps you gather information to make a good decision.
So what are some examples of questions that can make a good impression?
Job Test Prep suggests some good ones. You could ask about opportunities for professional development and growth within the bank.
That shows you're thinking long-term.
Right. Or ask about the company culture and values. See if your personal values align with the bank's, which can lead to a more fulfilling work experience.
Finding the right fit.
Exactly. Don't forget to ask about how bank tellers are evaluated. This shows you're serious about exceeding expectations.
Makes you look ambitious.
And if we zoom out a bit, asking these kinds of questions can give you valuable insights into the bank's commitment to employee development and career progression.
So it's about seeing the bigger picture.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, before we move on, let's talk about something that might seem obvious but is worth emphasizing: professionalism in the banking industry.
Okay.
Why is it so crucial, and how does it go beyond just appearances?
It's interesting you say that because I think there's this idea that professionalism is all about wearing a suit and using fancy words.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling it's much deeper than that, especially in banking.
You're absolutely right. Professionalism in banking is about conveying trust, competence, and integrity.
Those are big words.
They are. It's about protecting customer information, adhering to ethical standards, and maintaining a respectful and positive demeanor in all your interactions.
So it's about making those customers feel confident and secure.
Exactly. Professionalism goes beyond just your clothes and your words. It's about your work ethic, how you handle sensitive information. It's about being reliable, respectful, and always putting the customer first.
Wow. So it really is a whole mindset.
It is. It's an attitude that reflects your commitment to excellence and ethical conduct.
So it's about embodying those values in everything you do.
Exactly. And those values are what build trust and solidify the bank's reputation.
Okay, so as we start wrapping up our deep dive into the world of bank tellers, let's take a moment to appreciate the impact this role has on people's lives.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the skills and procedures, but at the end of the day, it's about helping people manage their finances, achieve their goals.
And feel secure about their money.
Exactly. So it's about building relationships and making a positive difference, one transaction at a time.
Beautifully said. Bank tellers are often the first point of contact for people navigating their financial journeys.
They play a crucial role.
They do. They guide, they support, and they make sure people feel confident about their finances.
So it's a really rewarding job in a lot of ways.
It is. Now, before we leave our listeners with some final thoughts, let's talk about something that's super important, especially in a fast-paced field like banking: work-life balance.
Oh, that's a good one.
Especially in a customer-facing role where you're constantly interacting with people and dealing with potentially stressful situations.
Yeah, how do you find that balance?
Well, prioritizing your well-being is key for long-term success and happiness.
Okay.
It's about setting boundaries, making time for self-care, and finding healthy ways to de-stress after a busy day.
So taking care of yourself helps you take care of your customers.
Exactly. When you're feeling balanced and energized, you can handle the demands of the job, provide excellent customer service, and make good decisions.
What are some practical tips for achieving that balance?
Well, start with setting realistic expectations. Recognize that you can't do everything perfectly all the time.
That's good advice for anything, really.
It is. Delegate tasks when you can, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it.
So it's okay to ask for help.
Absolutely. And remember, taking breaks throughout the day, even just for a few minutes, can help you recharge and stay focused.
So those little moments of self-care can make a big difference.
They really can. And outside of work, make time for activities you enjoy, spending time with loved ones, hobbies, relaxing.
Things that bring you joy.
Exactly. Work is important, but it's not everything. Taking care of yourself allows you to be your best self both at work and in life.
Now let's shift gears and talk about professional development. What opportunities are out there for bank tellers to grow their skills and move up in the industry?
Great question. The banking industry has a ton of professional development opportunities.
Like what?
Well, many banks have internal training programs to help tellers learn new skills and move into more specialized roles.
So it's not just a stepping stone, it's a real career path.
Exactly. Some banks even offer tuition reimbursement for employees who want to get a degree in finance or business.
Wow, so they really invest in their employees.
They do. And beyond formal education, there are professional organizations and certifications that can boost your resume and open doors to new opportunities.
So it's about staying curious and seeking out ways to learn and grow.
Absolutely. The banking industry is constantly changing, so lifelong learning is key to success.
Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about something that's often overlooked, but incredibly important: mentorship.
Oh yeah, mentorship is so valuable.
Finding a mentor in the banking industry can be huge for aspiring tellers.
It can be transformative. It's about finding someone who has experience in the field and can provide guidance and support.
Someone to learn from?
Exactly. Mentors can offer advice on career choices, professional development, navigating the workplace, and building your network.
So how do you find a good mentor?
Start by networking within your bank or through professional organizations. Attend industry events. Reach out to people you admire.
Put yourself out there.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask for informational interviews. When you do reach out to potential mentors, be clear about your goals and what you're looking for in a mentor.
So it's about building a mutually beneficial relationship.
Right. And remember, mentorship is not just about advancing your career. It's also about finding someone who can support your personal and professional growth.
Now, as we get ready to wrap up our deep dive, let's talk about something that's often top of mind for job seekers: salary expectations.
Okay.
What can aspiring bank tellers expect in terms of compensation, and what factors can affect how much they can earn?
It's important to have realistic expectations and understand what influences salary in this role.
Okay, so give it to me straight. What can I expect?
Well, salary for bank tellers can vary depending on location, experience, education, and the specific bank.
So there's no magic number.
Not really. But resources like Job Test Prep and salary comparison websites can give you a general idea of the average salary in your area.
So do your research.
Absolutely. And remember, things like your performance, extra skills and certifications, and willingness to take on new responsibilities can all impact your earning potential down the line.
So it's not just about the starting salary, it's about your commitment to growth.
Exactly. The banking industry rewards those who are eager to learn, take on challenges, and contribute to the bank's success.
Okay, as we move toward the end of our deep dive, let's turn our attention to technology and its impact on the role of a bank teller.
Okay.
With online and mobile banking becoming so popular, how has technology changed this traditional role? What skills do you need to thrive in the digital age?
Technology has absolutely revolutionized banking, and the role of a bank teller has definitely changed.
So it's not just about counting cash and processing paper transactions anymore.
Nope. While those tasks are still part of the job, bank tellers today need to be comfortable with technology and good at using different digital platforms and software.
So it's about embracing technology to make things more efficient for the customer.
Exactly. Bank tellers are often responsible for helping customers with online and mobile banking, troubleshooting technical issues, and promoting the bank's digital products and services.
So you need to be tech savvy.
For sure. Skills like data entry, online security awareness, and troubleshooting are becoming essential for bank tellers.
So it's a blend of old school banking knowledge and new school digital skills.
Precisely. Bank tellers who can do both will be the ones who succeed in this ever-changing industry.
Now, as we approach the final moments of our deep dive, let's leave our listeners with some inspiration and advice.
Okay.
We've explored the world of bank tellers, from the technical skills and personal qualities to the challenges and rewards.
It's been a journey.
It has. What final words of wisdom would you share with those considering a career in this field?
I'd say go for it. Banking offers a stable and rewarding career path for people who love customer service, are eager to learn, and want to make a positive difference.
So it's more than just a job, it's a chance to make an impact.
Exactly. Bank tellers are the face of the bank, building relationships with customers, guiding them through their financial journeys.
It's about being a trusted advisor and a valuable resource for the community.
Absolutely. And for those who are dedicated and passionate, a career as a bank teller can be incredibly fulfilling.
And don't forget about resources like Job Test Prep.
Yeah, they're great.
They can help you ace that interview, master those aptitude tests, and launch your banking career with confidence.
Couldn't agree more. Preparation is key.
Okay, future bank tellers, we've reached the end of our deep dive.
Sad to see it end.
We hope you found it helpful and inspiring.
We covered a lot of ground.
We did. Remember, success as a bank teller is about more than just skills. It's about bringing your whole self to the role, embracing those human connections, and making a positive difference for your customers.
Well said.
Now, let's leave our listeners with one final thought-provoking question to consider as they embark on their career journeys. As you step into a bank, ready to start your day as a teller, what mindset will help you not just do the job, but really excel at it?
That's a great question to end on. I think it's about finding that balance,
Between.
the technical skills and that human element. Like, think about how you can make each customer's experience just a little bit better.
Yeah.
Whether it's through, being efficient, a friendly smile, or just that extra bit of helpfulness.
So even amidst all the procedures and transactions, those soft skills are still key.
Exactly. Remember those interview questions we talked about?
Yeah.
The ones about handling tricky situations?
Yeah.
Well, those skills come into play every day in different ways. It's about being adaptable, empathetic, and finding solutions that work for everyone.
And it all goes back to building that trust and enhancing the bank's reputation.
It does. It's those little moments, those positive interactions that make the biggest impact. It's so true. And even though technology is changing everything in banking,
It really is.
that human touch is still so important.
It is. Customers still want that connection, that reassurance, that feeling of being understood. You can't get that from a machine,
Absolutely. So it's about embracing technology, but not forgetting those personal skills that make all the difference.
Right. And never underestimate the power of a genuine smile, a friendly greeting, and just a willingness to go the extra mile.
Yeah.
Those small things can really make a customer's day.
And they can make you a more successful bank teller.
Exactly.
Well, there you have it. Our deep dive into the world of bank tellers. We covered a lot today, from those tricky interview questions to all the skills and qualities that make a bank teller truly stand out,
And don't forget those resources we talked about.
like Job Test Prep.
Yes. They can give you that extra boost you need to prepare for your interview and start your banking career strong. We hope you found this deep dive helpful and inspiring. Remember, being a successful bank teller is about more than just the technical stuff. It's about bringing your whole self to the role, making those human connections, and making a positive impact on your customers.
And never stop learning. The banking industry is always changing, so stay curious, seek out those growth opportunities, and remember the power of a positive attitude.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We wish you all the best in your future banking careers.